Good morning. It's Tuesday, September 13th, 9:30 a.m. If you would please all rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll start with a prayer, please. Heavenly Father, we beseech your divine guidance in this meeting. Keep us ever mindful of our obligation. Grant us, dear Lord, wisdom, tolerance, and courage that we may well serve our county and fulfill our trust.
Amen.
Amen. All right. And we've got minutes of September 6th.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion? Changes? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes. All right. Next, public comment regarding any of the pending resolutions. Anyone here? Seeing none, we'll move on. County Engineer's Office, Dan Becker.
Morning.
Good morning.
Got 3 resolutions for your consideration. Hopefully these were none of the roads that you traveled on today, Steve.
We're fine.
The first is the necessity to close Abbeville Road between Muntz and East Law. The second is the necessity to close Grafton Road between Columbia and Liverpool. And the third is to close the necessity to close Myrtle Hill Road between Wilmont and Centerville. And that includes the other 2 commissioners too. I hope you
Okay,
understand.
yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the 3 resolutions.
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion?
Do you keep track of the number of roads in any given year that are closed?
No, because if we did,
So
that
many,
probably
yeah.
wouldn't make you happy.
About every road had been closed, all the major ones. All the majors, yeah.
That's amazing how many, you
Yeah.
guys are doing a lot of work. So that's
Yeah,
good.
indeed.
We do.
That's a good.
Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And our sanitary engineer, Jeremy Cinco.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
5 resolutions for consideration today. First is extending the expiration date of a restricted main along Remsen Road. The second is authorizing the sanitary engineer to enter into an agreement with Jones and Henry Engineers for professional design services for the Medina Road Sanitary Sewer Improvement Project. The third is accepting, awarding, and rejecting bids for the bulk chemical for the water and wastewater treatment facilities. The fourth is authorizing the sanitary engineer to request qualifications for professional design services for the Substation Road Water Main Improvement Project. And the last is authorizing cooperative agreement between the County of Medina and the Ohio Water Development Authority for the Residential Solid Waste Campus Project for the Medina County Solid Waste District.
I'll make a motion to approve the 5 resolutions.
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion or questions? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Jeremy. Ollie Murin, our Human Resources Director.
Good morning.
Good morning.
On our personal changes resolution today, we have 2 new hires, 1 in maintenance, 1 in office for older adults, 3 rate increases, 1 at office for older adults, 1 at job and family services, and 1 in planning. 2 fund corrections in sanitary, 2 leave of absence, 1 in maintenance and 1 in sanitary, 2 resignations, 1 at office for older adults and 1 at job and family services, and 1 separation in sanitary.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Thank you.
Excellent, thanks. Next, our Assistant County Administrator, Amy Lyon-Galvin.
Good morning. So first, I have 8 resolutions to present for the Finance Department. The first one is amending the appropriation measure resolution. The second is amending the 2022 appropriations resolution by transferring appropriations. Third is expenditure adjustments for various funds. Fourth is cash transfers for various funds. The fifth is authorizing the county auditor to transfer funds from various county department accounts to the Medina County Print Shop revenue line item. The sixth is approving a vehicle purchase for the Soil and Water Conservation District. The seventh is allowing expenses of county officials. And the eighth is approving claims for the week in the amount of $930,410.58.
I'll make a motion to approve the 8 resolutions.
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
And then the other resolution that I have for your consideration is revising Commissioner's Employment Manual Policy 5.025. This is the longevity payment. What this resolution does is remove the provision that limited eligibility to only employees hired prior to January 1 of 2013. So this is a result of some continued discussions related to the employee satisfaction survey, and this is a first step in recognizing some potential changes to reward longevity for county employees. It's effective in 2023.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Thank you.
Very good. Thanks, Amy. Next, department updates. Ed Zachary, our Veteran Services. Good morning.
Morning, how's everybody doing?
Good.
I got some, I know I'm a little late on these, I usually ship them over. There's 3, 4, one for Brian down there and then 2.
Thank you.
So this is, I'm about a month late on this, usually I'm here in August, so I apologize for that. So most of these numbers are through June, and it is also the final report from the GDX, which comes from the Department of Veterans Affairs for 2021. So through June, we've filed 160 VA claims in our office so far, with about 149 medical and ancillary type items that go to the VA also. Our current pending claim inventory is 305 with 32 appeals. We are doing those appeals in-house. We're not sending people downtown anymore. We're doing video appeals in our conference room. The average claims filed per month is 29, which is on par for prior to the COVID thing and the shutdown and all that. And the graphs there depict that. The big numbers that we're looking at when the GDX came out, $44.9 million for compensation and pension. Those are the checks paid directly to veterans and their widows in Medina County. It's an increase of about $3.5 million from last year. You can see we're up about almost $30 million from 10 years ago. So it increases steadily. VOC rehab and education benefits, $3.7 million paid out to county veterans. Last year, $34.8 million paid out to medical expenditures to veterans, and that's the medical care that they receive at the VA clinics, or now with the outsourced care if they're going to like the Cleveland Clinic or one of the local clinics that the VA pays for. We transported 788 veterans to the VA clinics in Akron, Parma, and Cleveland last year, and this year through June we're at 402. So our numbers are starting to rise back up as less and less video appointments are being done, and they're starting to see more people back in the office. The total amount for the VA spent in Medina County for 2021 was $84.4 million total on everything. It's about $5 million increase from the year prior. As far as our financial assistance, it remains extremely low. Our unemployment rate, again, from the state of Ohio is 0.05%. It's been that for quite a few years. And last time I talked to them, they said that's just a number we have to give you because they can't really tell us how many veterans are unemployed. It's so low. So that's a good thing. Our financial assistance through June was $81,855. And I would tell you, so we're looking at probably less than $200,000 for the year. If we go back to, the recession, we were at like $800,000. So, quite a difference. And that is a good story. So we're glad that, people are working and not in as much need as prior. In closing, we're always looking for new ways. We're expanding the building. And we're talking to a lot of nonprofits and things that we can possibly do to help through having an expanded building, everything from possibly a food bank for veterans to, bringing in different people from nonprofits that can talk to them about different services throughout the county. So we're always looking for new and innovative ways. We saw 1,395 clients just the first half of this year, which is back on par to prior to COVID again too. So the numbers are rising. We were talking about the PACT Act a little bit before this session started. PACT Act passed last month. The president signed it. The largest veterans legislation since 1991 when they passed the Agent Orange Act. It's about $128 billion over the next 10 to 20 years. And it's already starting to influx our office. We're seeing phone calls. It's created a lot of controversy, a lot of, unknowns because the legislation passed, and those that know, just because the legislation passed, we're still waiting on rules and regulations and everything else. So everybody's going, well, how and when and this, and we're going, we don't know. And to top that, part of that legislation included where you can now sue the government for Camp Lejeune, which has nothing to do with us or the Department of Veterans Affairs, but it's included in the legislation. So every attorney out there is starting to just market this through social media and on TV and everywhere else. So that creates controversy too, because people are calling us and asking us. So we're trying to give the best guidance we can. We just don't have all the answers. That's part of the problem. But it is a great piece of legislation. It's going to help not only our Vietnam veterans, it's going to help those that served in Thailand, Cambodia. It's going to help the Persian Gulf, the Iraq, Afghanistan veterans. So it is a huge piece of legislation. We're glad it got passed. So now we're just going to try to implement it the best we can.
So the non-Camp Lejeune part of that will be administered through your office?
Through the
right?
Department of Veterans
It's
Affairs.
just that part of that
Yeah.
refers to anybody that lived in Camp
So-
Lejeune Station there.
Yeah, so there's a piece of Camp Lejeune that stays with the VA, and it's always been there. What was in the legislation, and I'm not an attorney, so there was a small part in there that said those veterans at Camp Lejeune, those family members at Camp Lejeune, and those people that worked on Camp Lejeune, so it's not just veterans, can now, for the first time ever, sue the U.S. government for those conditions that were caused by Camp Lejeune. So it's not a class action lawsuit. But you do have to file, I'm not sure which, one of the district courts, I think it's like South Carolina District Court, there's a time period, about 2 years, that you have to file. So all these attorneys are just jumping on it, trying to get people. And it's a good thing, but again, it's like anything, know your attorney, I guess is the best answer I could give people, because there's a lot of people just trying to.
Sorry.
A lot of people just trying to grab money. You know,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But it is a good thing, yeah. But that has nothing to do with us. That is a direct lawsuit through the federal court.
Right.
And we're not getting involved in it.
So-
There's the VA.
For the non-Camp Lejeune portion of it, just the expansion of the VA claims, what do you suggest individuals do? Contact your office, hold off on contacting your
No,
office?
we want everybody to contact our office
Okay.
immediately, so we can at least start the process and explain to them and see where we're going
Got
with
it.
it. We've already started to file claims. The VA said file the claims now.
Mm-hmm.
They are gonna sit for a time period until they can play catch-up. I met with the Undersecretary for Benefits last month. He said they're hoping to get the claims out the door in January, starting to. But there's 29 presumptive conditions for the Persian Gulf, and then it changed some things for the Vietnam guys. So some of it is gonna be we're gonna do this bundle, and then a year later start this bundle, and so on and so on, so.
Good.
But yeah, contact us immediately and let's sit down and talk, or at least, explain to you what's going on. So.
Super.
Trying to keep people informed, that's usually the best policy.
Right.
Super. All right.
Ed, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, no, go ahead.
Do you have any idea how many veterans there are in Medina County
Yeah, so we're shrinking,
that
so,
receive the $84 million in benefits?
no, I don't.
Okay.
I could probably find out. And that average is different everywhere, so I could probably get an average as to, like right now, we're at about almost 12,000 veterans. We're a little bit underneath that according to the population. I could probably find out approximately how many are receiving that.
Okay.
Yeah, I could do that.
All right.
In closing, the only thing I got to say is, we are doing a couple things. We're still doing the transit. We take people to their medical appointments, but we're also paying for Medina County veterans if they want to ride the transit. That's been huge. Just the first 6 months, 1,791 riders that we're helping, and those are rides, not individuals. I think we're at about 60 or 70 individuals that are riding the bus. And I know I talk to the director over at the transit all the time, and he says they're continuing to ride, and they like riding. I mean, they get out. And most of them are just people that, wouldn't be able to get out if they didn't have that, because they can't afford it sometimes. Our dental program with the health department is still a go. We're working with the health department, and they see veterans that are eligible for our financial assistance program. We provide the dental for them through co-op with them. The Parma Vet Center, they're still got an office. They've been coming back, I think 2 months ago is when they came back to the office again, because they were in, then they were out because of COVID, because they got to follow the VA guidelines as to whether they can see people or not. So they're seeing people back again over at the office for older adults where their office is. We're involved in the Medina City Veterans Court. through the VA. So we meet with the court twice a month over there and the clients that they have. So we're involved in that. We've recently sat down with one of the officers over at the sheriff's office. I met with the sheriff a few months back, and we're working with the sheriff to see what we can do inside the jail. And I know we met with the one VA director who does all the prison things, and we're working on some kind of template to provide the sheriff that they can give out to their, I don't want to say clients, but people that are there at the jail, you know, for when they come in and when they get out. We are advertising for jobs. We're trying to hire a CVSO, so we have applications. We're accepting them through the end of the month, and a community resource person. So if anybody's interested, please apply. And again, I want to thank you guys for your support, and ladies, for your support. It's always good to work in Medina County and be here and help our veterans. I know you guys love them, and I love them, and we take care of them. So thank you.
Super.
Any questions?
Thanks for all you do to support
Yep.
them, Ed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, our County Home Superintendent, Greg Brown. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Greg.
So starting with census, we're at 41 now. Our newest resident arrived in the middle of last month. Some of the things that the residents have been doing since the last meeting, we do a lot with Access the Arts. They've gone to the Sharon Center for a concert. Access the Arts provided a concert at our pavilion on location. Also for OOA, they had their luau, their last picnic on the patio. They went to that. That was a good one. Some of the upcoming events in September this month, there's a trolley museum that they're going to go to. We've got a fishing derby at Buckeye Woods planned. And then through Southtown, there's a car show and a music festival that they're looking at going to. Some of the maintenance pieces that have happened at our place, our parking lot is now much more visible. We had maintenance come in and take down some trees that had decided to overtake a lot of our parking lot, and some shrubs, and looks great. If you drive by, you can see the parking lot now. Also, maintenance is coordinating with Vernac Refrigeration. Our walk-in freezer, since I've been there, we've had a problem with the door properly sealing, and they're working on a retrofit door that will actually fit over the existing opening and seal better. And then my last thing was a thank you to Krista at the health department. I attended the lean training along with Laura and Dawn Fry. Very eye-opening. I had done that with manufacturing, and this was with government, so that was really good. I was like, as long as you didn't quiz me, I'm like, I had a few things written down, but yeah. But just minimizing waste and continuous improvement of your processes. And like I said, I
Good.
bring that back to the home.
Great.
That's all I
Excellent.
have.
Very good. And you got all your donations from the fair? All collected?
Yes,
and everything?
all collected,
Super.
all in that freezer. That's the reason I need that to stay cold.
All right.
Yes. All right.
Excellent. Very good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
All right, open up for public comment. Anyone here? Yep, please come forward. If you would mind, name and address for the record, please.
Jim Billick, 3414 Hamlin Road, Medina Township. Thank you for the opportunity.
Sure.
I'm here in the Nexus Pipeline. I'm sure the commissioners are already aware of this, but as information for the general public, a few years back, I myself and many others had opposed it and had urged the commissioners to do so because of the company's history in both administrative and operationally, and their poor record. And in essence saying, you really couldn't trust them. For those that don't know, there were a series of tax levels promised, tax revenues promised to the county, to the cities where the pipeline was going. And to this point, only 42% of those revenues have been collected and or paid by the Nexus Pipeline conglomerate. So while that was, they were appealing that number to the state because they felt it was too high for multiple reasons. The State Department of Taxation recently granted a settlement that ended up at only 66% of the original promised revenue by the Nexus Pipeline people. So that equates to approximately $400 million that had been originally promised in return for permitting the pipeline that is now not going to be available to all the counties in the state. Now, when the Department of Taxation issued that, they said, we're sure that none of the counties will appeal this because it's such a good deal. Well, Lorain County immediately appealed it. So maybe I missed something, and I'm here as a plea, if you haven't already done so, a plea to particularly Ms. Swedick and Mr. Hudson, because I'm pretty confident Mr. Hambley would be in favor of the settlement. But have you considered an appeal? Have you done an appeal? Is there anything in the works to try to recoup Medina County's losses from the original promised amounts from Nexus?
My understanding, that would fall under the auditor's office.
Okay, so I should talk to the auditors.
Correct.
Do you wish to weigh in with them at all in hopes of securing some of this amount and throw your weight behind a possible appeal by the county?
I would follow whatever recommendation Mike Kovac has.
Very good. And last but not least, you may or may not have heard, we heard about their great record as they were, again, seeking permit. There's already been a spill up in Bowling Green, 8,000 plus gallons of drilling fluid. And it was interesting in the storyline of the local newspapers and the media up there. They started to clean up, and then at night the workers walked away and left it there, which is no surprise to me, but given the history we had seen with the Nexus folks. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll follow up with the auditor.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, we do have a notice of a liquor permit filing. Commissioners received notice of a new liquor request, RCE Midway Tavern Incorporated, doing business at Midway Tavern, first floor and patio, located at 9977 Lafayette Road, Harrisville Township, West Salem, Ohio. Permit class requested is a D3. Spirituous liquor for on-premise consumption only until 1 a.m. Commissioners not requesting a hearing, and this notice is just being provided for the record. All right, now we'll open up for discussion. Jeremy, you want to lead us off? Yeah. Okay.
Just wanted to let you know that we did get those extra bins with the help of Commissioner Swedick. We did get the 2 extra bins at the Wadsworth Transfer Station. Just confirming, but it sounds like there's potentially room for 2 additional bins there to help out. And then also, we just did deliver the signs that the city had requested this morning. So we'll kind of wait to see what the city says about maybe potentially adding a couple more bins there to help out, and we'll go from there.
Good. All right.
Jeremy, there was an article that I just saw that
I
came
did too.
through.
Right.
Yes,
It was in a post, yeah.
that there are residents over there that are pushing the city to look at alternatives to recycling. So hopefully they will consider some curbside or other options. It's unfortunate that we had bins at Bueller's and at other park locations, and they were abused and misused. And so we had to remove them.
Yeah, they're just looking for a place to recycle.
But, yes, but
Right, exactly,
there seems to be an interest in recycling in Wadsworth. So
I would definitely agree with that.
I think we ought to keep pushing them as much as we can.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay, all right.
That was it?
That's it.
Boy, that was easy.
Thank you, yes.
Oh, all right, okay. Amy?
Should have saved it for next week, Jeremy.
Yeah, really? I was like, wow.
I just have 2 things. Mike Lyons from the prosecutor's office called yesterday. He'd received a call from Rich Pace, Granger Township trustee, if you recall back when the board was considering an ARPA funding request from Granger Lakes condos.
Right.
We were trying to involve the township and have one joint agreement with all 3 parties, and they took some time in making their determination. They've since decided they want to award $15,000 to Granger Lakes, and their preference is, since the county already has entered into an agreement with Condo Association for, may the township route their money through the county so that there's a one-stop shop, so to speak, for compliance to the ARPA rules. And I told Mike I would ask that question of you all and see if you had any objection to running it through the county.
Okay.
Oh, no objections at all.
I agree.
Yeah.
Rich called me as well.
Yeah.
And I thought, I think it makes a lot of sense just to do it once and have it done, so.
Oh, indeed.
Very
In
good.
terms of compliance, it makes
Right.
yeah, yeah.
And just a construction update, they did begin work in July, so we received the pay application for July and August.
Mm-hmm,
So we are working on getting that processed in accordance with the original agreement signed with Granger Lakes, so.
And I'm
Mike
sure they're
Anderson's
appreciative
happy.
of that additional support. That's every dollar not from their pocket to
Right.
get the job done, so.
Correct.
Oh, yeah, indeed, that's super.
And then second, just to remind you all that tomorrow morning is the Transit Strategic Planning Work Session. They've been doing really great work, and Shannon himself, I just want to compliment him and his staff. They had Rush Trucking come in and do an independent assessment of the buses, so they have a laundry list of items to address. They're looking at his plans for the new buses that he received permission to purchase, making sure they're the right size for the right customer base and so forth as part of the strategic planning process as well. So they're really looking forward to showing you what all they've been able to come up with for the existing conditions tomorrow and some fun exercises. So it starts
Super.
at 8
Good.
here.
Yep.
And
We'll
we're
be
doing
there.
it here
We
at 8
are.
o'clock, special
Yep.
commissioners meeting,
Yep,
right?
yep, exactly. All
Thank
right.
you.
Super, great,
Thanks,
thank you.
Amy.
All right. Holly? Nothing? All right. Let's see. Debbie, I know you're kind of hiding, okay. Greg, anything? And Dan, you don't have anything? Anybody else? All right. Bill?
I have a couple things. First off, we had an agent with the Drug Task Force that passed away earlier this year, Agent John Stayrook, and he has been designated as a fallen law enforcement officer, so he will be on the National Law Enforcement Memorial Wall coming up here in May of next year. So I just wanted to give a shout out to his family and recognize him and thank him again for his service. Data board met last week. Lowell Filak, who has been the chair of the data board, is retiring next month, the end of October. And I have asked the data board to look at and create a charter so that, as far as I know, to date, they have not had any real statement of their purpose and their reason for being. So I have asked them to put that together. And following that, we also have, Mike Lyons and I received an email from Mr. Kovac asking for clarification on the county's plans on consolidating services to the degree that we have, and has indicated that he may question some of our decisions regarding those consolidations. So I'll get with Mike, and we will respond to him accordingly.
All right.
NOACA met last week. We discussed the letter that several of our residents sent to us and to NOACA regarding the roundabout at 162 and River Styx, thank you. And ODOT will be holding a series of public meetings on that, and so their concerns should be addressed. But the board did talk about the letters, and there was an individual from ODOT there who spoke to the project and addressed some of their concerns. Also want to let you know the annual meeting for NOACA is October 7th at the Cleveland Hilton, if either of you are interested in attending. And then one last thing, our next One Ohio board meeting is tomorrow. Hopefully we will get a bylaws and governance document passed and get things moving. There's no expectation that any funds will be dispersed to any of the regions this year, but the hope is that beginning soon next year, that the funds will start to flow.
Good.
So
All right.
that's all I have.
Super, all right, good. Colleen?
I have nothing this morning, thank you.
Okay, all right. I've got nothing as well. We do have a request for executive session.
I will make a motion to go into executive session to consider the employment of a public employee, to consider the compensation of a public employee, to discuss collective bargaining matters, and to consider the appointment of a public official.
Second.
Moved and second. Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes. Now, this will conclude our live session. We won't be returning live at the end of executive session. We expect no other actions today, so.
But we will return live to adjourn.
Yes, we will. Yeah, we'll be here, but not on Facebook. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good week.